Dear friends, I did not ask to be here. Do not blame me for standing here. I refuse to be the interruption between you and lunch. You may blame Yossi Friedman. He texted me 5 minutes ago and he said, do it. I said no, so here I am. That's the way it works around here. So I have to end this incredible experience with one story from Rabbi Yaakov Salomon. And then I really do let you go. Really, 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 maybe. Rabbi Yaakov was very, very, very fond of telling the story about the time that there was a bris in Esha Torah, and all the dignitaries, all the Rabbanim of Yerushalayim came. And to make a long story short, they asked Rabbi Yaakov Salomon, the Mashgiach of Chevron Yeshiva, they asked him to get up and say a few words. Now, Rabbi Yaakov Salomon was an incredible speaker, an incredible man. He was known to tell it like it is. He got up at that bris, and in front of all the Rabbanim that was sitting there, and was a who's who of all the great Rabbanim of Yerushalayim, he said the following. He said, Rabbi Isai, I want to ask you a question. Who was the one person in Klal Yisrael in the last 100 years that had more impact on Klal Yisrael than anyone else? So they all looked around at each other and said, Chaskell, well, why are you starting up? It's not a contest. I want to know, who is that one person? So every chassid in the audience thought it was his Rebbe, maybe it's Chaim, maybe some Sefer, whoever it might be. Chassid wasn't finished. I'm going to tell you who it was, and you won't believe it, but this person never learned a blot Gemara in his life. Oh, Chassid, please. Please, you're just being difficult. Well, why are you starting up? Sit down. I says, I'm not done yet. The one person who had a greater impact than anyone in Klal Yisrael in the last 100 years did not wear a yarmulke. Sarna, you're losing your mind. What's going on here? He had one final moment. And Rabbi Yaakov Salomon said, I'm going to tell you who it is. And all of you are going to agree. How's that? Now, that's a real miracle. He told them who it was. And Rabbi Yaakov said, they all agreed. And that person, Rabbi Yaakov Salomon said, was Sarah Schneer. Sarah Schneer never learned the Blat Gemara. Sarah Schneer didn't wear a yarmulke. What was Sarah Schneer? Her yard site was last week, by the way. Her yard site was the same day as my mother's, by the way. I'll never forget it. Rabbi Yaakov said the reason that Sarah Schneer had a greater impact than anyone in Klal Yisrael was only one reason. And that is, she was a seamstress. And she used to sit in her home and sew dresses for the Yiddish Meidlich. And then she started to cry. And she cried for them. What's going to happen to the Yiddish Meidlich? What are we going to do about them? How are we going to teach them? How are we going to build our homes? And the secret that made her the one person that had such an impact was one thing. That was, she cried. And she took her idea, and she went to the Chavetz Chaim. She said, I want to open a Beis Yaakov. And the Chavetz Chaim, in his inimitable way, said, we're going to do it. That's why. We put months and months and months and months and months of work into this convention. We know how important it is. And I sit here, and I sit in the dais, and I sit in the audience, and I walk in the hall, and it's amazing everything we do. And I look around and I say, what an incredible mind. I just don't believe this is happening. It's unbelievable. It truly is. And what a slice it is. I want to tell you the truth. And I know we joke around a lot, and I try to be funny and usually not successful, but you're very kind. But besides that, I cried at this convention 3 times. I cried when the video didn't work last night. That was one. That was a biggie. I cried when we sat on the stage last night at the end of that incredible program and we all sang Hashivenu Hashem Echad. That's a moment to cry from. And I'm going to tell you the 3rd time I cried, and none of you are going to be able to predict it. And I think that the person who made me cry is not even here anymore. I cried on Shabbos morning when I heard Moshe Collar speak. You probably don't even remember him. It seems like, as Charlie said, 6 months ago. I don't know Moshe Collar. I played baseball with him last year once. That's all. I'm a great baseball player. It's not so funny. But when Moshe Collar got up here and he spoke, I cried. I know you're not supposed to cry on Shabbos. Why? You know why I cried? Because I understood then what this is about. Moshe Collar and the 4 people who got up here Friday night, I didn't forget their names. Ephraim Roshavsky and Yossi Lieberman and Steve, Frank, and give me one more. One more. And Josh Brody. When they got up here and told their stories, and then Moshe Collar got up here the next day, and he said what he did, and he said, I'm not doing anything. I'm just a regular guy. I'm just a regular guy. I said, you know what? We sit here and we plan and we plan. We have this incredible idea. We're going to bring Rabbi Yitzchak David Grossman from Yerushalayim, and he's going to come. We said, I don't believe. But no, he's not going to come. He's going to come. And when he said yes, we had a we were so excited. But you know what? We knew what it was going to be like. We knew he's an incredible human being. Who wasn't touched by him? We knew when we bring Rabbi Noach Isaac Goldbaum, we know what we have. We know when we bring Rabbi Eitan Finder, we know what we have. We know we have an incredible product. We know we're on the mission, like Charlie said. We understand it. But when Moshe Collar gets up here, and all the other fellows who get up here and say, I'm just a regular guy, I sit and I cry and say, that's what it's all about. That's it. That's Project Inspire. Take a look. It's not about all the stars that you see. It's about the Moshe Collars. That's the message that I want to leave you with. It's not about all the celebrities and the great Rabbanim. They're fabulous leaders. We need to be inspired by them. Yes, fabulous. And you're going to kill me for this. It's not even about Charlie Harari. All right, maybe it's about it. It's about Moshe Collar. It's about Yossi Lieberman. It's about all those people. It is about you. Take the message home. Go to lunch. Enjoy it. Pack up all the bags, like Yossi told you, yeah, for the whole week. We're going to daven mincha. Yes, all the wonderful things. But do what you're supposed to do, and remember, it's all about you. Thank you for coming.